All right, guys, I'm back. So, day 3 of using the iPhone, vlog number 2. I think the honeymoon's over. So, few issues. Not to say I didn't expect the iPhone to be perfect. No phone's perfect, but first, let's get into what I like about the phone. It's it's fast. It's really fast. You know, the fingerprint scanner is amazing. Push the button and boom, you're in. You know, I mentioned last time it may be too fast. I kind of feel that way. That your finger navigates or gravitates towards the home button to just turn on the device. And if you want to just check the time or check your notifications, it's too fast. You push it and it flashes by and you're in. But I'm not going to complain about something working too fast. So just got to get used to using the side button if you're going to look at notifications or the time, and the home button to actually log in. All in all, battery life is okay. I'll go into that a little bit further in a minute. The camera's great. Is really great. The feature where it records video before and after. I took some pictures of my son at the soccer game the other day, and it worked. You know, great, as to be expected. I'll post some comparison videos over the weekend between the Motorola X Pure Edition, the iPhone, and the Nexus 6, so you can kind of compare. Haven't got the new Nexus 6P yet, so can't really compare with that one. So Force Touch is great. You know, I find myself using that a lot. Press on, you know, messages and push harder to instantly go to a particular person's message, you know, or to create a post on social media and whatnot. You know, that's great, and it's going to even get better with future developers creating adoption for other apps. So those are the good things. Now to the bad. So yesterday was pretty frustrating. I was working on a lot of different projects, trying to send text messages while I was on the phone, which I do a lot with my Android phone. While I was on the phone, about 1 in probably 10 messages would go out. I was on a long meeting or a long call with a vendor and needed to communicate with some people while I was just kind of waiting on hold. And didn't matter. I still don't fully understand iMessage versus text message. It just seems like a data version of messaging, I guess, but neither would go out, you know, because I know some people would say, well, you can't use data while you're on the phone. With AT&T you can, and I was using data while I was on the phone, bringing up web pages and whatnot, and email, but text messages or any messages from messages wouldn't work. So that was frustrating. You know, they ended up just saying not delivered. I had a couple other messages not be delivered as well, while even when I wasn't on a phone call. So that was really frustrating from a functionality standpoint. Battery life, everybody's told me the battery life is so great because it, you know, gets you through a full day. Take it off the charger at 6 a.m. and at 9 p.m. you can get home and have 20%. I haven't experienced that. My first day, when I did the video, it was like 73%, but by 6 o'clock that night, it was at 1% and shut off on me. Yesterday, it was pretty heavy usage day. Lots of phone calls and a fair amount of screen on time. When I got home at the end of the day, it was like 8%, but I did plug it in during a drive for about 40 minutes. So battery life, nothing to hate on, but it's not kind of what I have expected going into it. Granted, I don't get that on my Android phone either, a full day's, you know, unplugged. But the things that I like about the Android phone is quick charge. For one, I can plug if I get my phone gets to 50%, I can plug it into a quick charger and get back to, you know, 80% in 15 minutes or 10 minutes during a lunch break. So that's great. I really wish, you know, the 6S would have had at least quick charge. I understand being a metal body, you know, it's hard to do wireless charging. Wireless charging is another thing I really miss. With my Nexus 6, the Motorola X Pure Edition doesn't have it, but it has quick charge. I've got a cradle here in my car that I can just drop it in when I'm driving from place to place, put a little bit of charge back in it. In my office, I've got a wireless charger I set it on to charge back up. Wireless charging and quick charging are two big features that I think Apple needs to incorporate, and I think they're probably looking into it. It's like Apple Pay. You know, it came out a year and a half, 2 years after Android Pay or Google Wallet, but when they brought it out, it was perfect. You know, and so they're working on it. They're just waiting, you know, to see which technology sticks. So battery life, you know, is not as great as I expected, but certainly gets me through a day, you know, without stranding me. The performance is great, I mentioned, and that's because the apps are cached. And with 2 gigs of RAM in the new 6S, it can cache pretty much every app that I need to use. So you go out and go back in, boom, it just pops right in. Having said that about apps, there's several apps of mine that I use regularly that just don't work. I don't blame that on the 6S. I think it's probably an iOS 9 issue. Because Android has issues when the new version, you know, Marshmallow 6.0 just came out for Android, and there's some apps that don't work. And the developers have to fix that. You know, Facebook Page Manager, if you have a Facebook page, it just opens and immediately closes, you know. So that's one. The ability to upload directly to YouTube, the YouTube app, doesn't work. Like these videos, I'm recording them and unedited and just uploading them, and I'd like to do that from my iPhone during my lunch break. Won't work. It just says upload error, doesn't give any more, so I've got to copy them to my computer and then from my computer upload them, which is kind of a hassle. My Sony camera that I use, I miss NFC, meaning near field communication. I can tap my Sony DSLR camera to my Android phones, it pairs up, syncs up with Wi-Fi Direct, transfers the image, and I'm off to the races. The iPhone doesn't allow you NFC access. It only uses it for Apple Pay, which isn't a big deal. You can use Wi-Fi Direct to connect and transfer the pictures. I had a couple issues the other day at the soccer game trying to copy pictures from my camera to my phone. Not sure that I'm going to look into that more. I think it might be an iOS 9 issue. It may just be something I was doing wrong. So there's a few, you know, app issues. Again, if you know, the days of closing apps, I think, is gone for both Android and iOS. You know, the days of bringing up your recently running apps and swiping them away. If you do that, the iPhone is noticeably slower. You know, you open up Facebook after closing it that way, and it'll take, you know, 10-15 seconds to reload and refresh, whereas if you just go back into the app that's been running in the background, it's instantaneous. So that's not a problem. That's just something to be aware of. If you're going to eat up extra battery life if you're closing apps, you know, unneededly, and let the memory manager of the operating system take care of it. Don't force close your apps all the time. The overall feel and build quality of the phone is great. You know, I mean, it feels good in the hand. It's perfect size, 5.5 inches. You know, they could have trimmed the bezel down a little bit, you know, on the edges, make it a little bit smaller. So it's a little bit smaller in the hand for being a 5.5. My Moto X Pure Edition is a 5.7 inch phone, and it feels smaller in the hand than this one. But the Nexus 6 is a 5.9 inch phone, and it feels, you know, obviously much bigger. So design wise, you know, not hating anything there. As far as overall, you know, interest, it's a good phone. I think I'm going to stick with Android. Time will tell, you know, as I use it some more. But so far, you know, there's nothing critical other than text messaging that isn't working well. I don't know if I'm missing inbound text messages. No one's called me and said, why didn't you respond to my message? So I think I'm getting all of those, but I just have a hard time sending messages from time to time. Yeah, so if there's anything else you guys would let me, I'm going to do a camera comparison this weekend and upload that video and still pictures. If there's anything else anybody else would like to see me compare or see me talk about, you know, differences. I can't compare the 6 to the 6S because this is my first iPhone, but yeah, I'd love to be involved and answer any questions you might have. Till next time, peace.